quite a bit of leverage in this case, because you have the cheek piece way up here, you know, with that extension from the bit, and then you've got the shank, almost like a Western bit, you know, with the curve and the shank, you know, that gets a lot of leverage. So when she pulls on that bottom rein, it's pulling the bit up, and it's pulling the head piece down, and it's cranking, and it's more severe. She can just use the snaffle rein with a very mild bit that she's got in his mouth, and that's up to her. But let's see you shorten his steps a little bit. Yeah, and he waits, and then you get to use your leg. That's the cool thing about a half halt. You know, thoroughbreds, you feel like you're being dragged around maybe because they're so forward, and you never get the opportunity to put your leg on, which is why we do this thing called half halt, where our body asks the horse to wait, and they're leaning and they're pulling. They wait, they get off the leaning for just a moment, and then we get to use our leg. And that's a wonderful thing to be able to push a thoroughbred, because that's when you start to get fancy. And when you're riding up to a jump, you want to be able to lengthen or shorten to the fence, and you don't just want to be riding with your hands. So only because she can half halt can she get to use her leg. Go ahead and rising trot for a sec. And he's being a little fussy in his head, not too bad. The chestnut horse got fussy in her body but kept her head still. This one gets a little fussy in his head here, and that's okay. This is a handsome horse. In fact, these are all three good-looking horses, but he was down in the stall earlier, and I walked by, and I hadn't seen him, and he's like your really classic, old-fashioned, big-boned, solid, great, fantastic thoroughbred. So, we're thinking rhythm again. And, you know, you can see he's a little quick to shorten as soon as she thinks half halt. Oh, my goodness. That's the Malibu Moon I know. Keep on going. Okay. I wasn't looking. Did something cause that, or just gotta get out of the system every once in a while? Okay. It's interesting that we have 3 tough thoroughbreds in this group. You know, we don't have 3 easy thoroughbreds in this group. Keep going. He's ready, he's ready. So, let's do the same thing with him. Yeah, in fact, that we did with the chestnut horse, because he's not quite giving you, when you let him stretch and try, he's not quite giving you that free hunter kind of feeling where you can just let the horse stretch out into the bridle and they go like a metronome with rhythm. So yeah, let's ask him to work a little bit like you're doing in sitting trot. And if you want to do some lateral work to get his focus, that's fine. You know, often when a horse is naughty, kind of that pony brain type of horse that will just play with you, which stranger does the same thing. You know, he'll just have an idea and he'll just jump sideways or rear or something. I hate rearing. That's the worst of them. You're brave, Monica. This kind of work is the best, where you put your aids on and you ask them to do something with their body that's difficult. So go ahead and put him through his paces like you would at home. He's being a little bad. You put your leg on and you say, "Come on, sucker. Let's get to work." And you use your leg. Okay, now rising trot lengthening. Because if you go backwards too much, if you shorten, with any horse, but especially a horse who loves to work, then you lose that nice forward rhythm. Okay, go ahead and canter on. Forward, forward. He has a little bit of that suck back feeling that I don't associate with thoroughbreds. I associate it with some other breed. But where the horse will get a little bit almost nappy, like, I don't really want it. You squeeze your legs, I don't necessarily go. You know, I'm in charge here. And the rearing that he did is not a forward movement, nor is bucking, right? That's like, I got to stop to rear or I got to stop to buck. So let's send him forward.
Forward.
Huh?
Forward.
As forward as you're comfortable. You know your horse. Michelle was saying he reminds her of Declan's Moon. The ballot. If you think it's effective, good. Is this what you do at home? Sometimes, yep. Okay, yeah, when he gets stuck back like this, that's what she does at home sometimes, is send him forward and almost do a gallop, you know? Yeah, the horse Declan's Moon that we had in training for this 100-day thoroughbred challenge we did had been sitting in a field for about 4 years, but he was an Eclipse Award-winning 2-year-old that was supposed to win the Kentucky Derby until he got hurt, and he was a nappy son of a bitch too. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I mean he was like, make me do it, and he scared me because I think I feel much safer on a horse that's running fast and wants to go than one that wants to stop and play with you, you know, and leave you back there. So keep going. Keep that thing working. We're going to work you, boy. You got to win the Maryland Most Wanted Thoroughbred contest tomorrow. You got to work. So all she's doing is back to that old training scale, trying to get back to rhythm, right? Rhythm, looseness, relaxation, and all that. Don't need to work on collection because he can stop and rear. That's collected. That's the lavage. That's the Spanish riding school, right? So now we're seeing a nicer trot out of this horse. Now we're kind of like, I mean, you might have made a mistake by putting this bridle on, don't you think, Monica? That the snaffle might have been? Yeah? Yeah, I'd let him go loose a little bit. But, okay, so back to the theory thing a little bit. If this were not about dressage and it were about jumping, it would be the same things we'd be doing with the horse. Because any of you that have gotten a horse off the track who maybe started out and thought they had a really quiet horse and it was going really well when you walked and you trotted, and then you picked up the canter and you thought, oops, it's not quite so easy. It might be you. It probably is you, right? It's always the rider. And one of the things that it would be you for is that you didn't allow the horse to go forward. You didn't allow the horse to get solid into the bridle. And so what this horse is doing is he's probably the type of horse who has to learn that every day. And that's what we got. But if it were jumping, you know, when you start a horse jumping, and we're going to talk about this on Sunday some, in the session about teaching a horse to jump, you know, a racehorse is usually brave and will go forward, but will go flat forward like out of starting gate. And so it takes good flat work to be able to get to the point where you can canter a course, whether it's an 18-inch course or a 4-foot course. It's about whether or not you have balance in the canter and adjustability, so that that natural desire to go forward doesn't, you know, the jump doesn't make it worse. Okay, now see a heel trot stretch. You're naughty. Look at him thinking like that. There we go. Look how beautiful he is. Yeah. Just keep patting him. So we just got a horse in last week that I think is very exciting from Kentucky named Kitten, something American. Anyway, he's by Kitten's Joy, the sire of Ken's kitten that I was talking about. And boy, oh boy, is he fancy. But they